Hello, I'm Daryl Bago. I'm the program manager for the Lift After School Academy at Midwood High School. I want to begin this by first of all apologizing for leaving the JCPC March meeting shortly after we gave our brief presentation. We did not know that we were supposed to stay the entire meeting. And second of all, we were trying to get back to the school because the after school program had commenced shortly after we had left to come to the JCPC meeting. And we know that the principal comes in from time to time to check in, and she likes to see that we have adequate coverage of staff to supervise the participants. So we wanted to get back to make sure that there were adequate coverage for that. So we apologize if there was any misgivings about us leaving shortly after our presentation. Now, the real reason for this video note is twofold. First of all, we wanted to prevent anyone from reading a long email because we know most people don't like to read long emails and will not read a long email. So we are hoping that this is an alternative to that. Second of all, I want to give a personalized appeal about the LIFT program as we enter into budget discussions relative to the 2009-2010 fiscal years. We just really believe that if we had a year's worth of programming to get in without a lot of budget cuts, that we could really establish a meaningful program that can be replicated and that we could get our numbers in order. So those are the reasons for this video note. Well, let's look at the budget. First of all, you'll notice if you look at our budget is heavily youth incentive based, basically to the tune of about $49,300. And I know that balloons our budget to a certain degree, but we realize that we really need these incentives in order to engage the kids on a level where we eventually gain buy-in from them so that they will see the program as a means of connecting what they're learning in the classroom to the real world, or to expose that what they're doing negatively, how it will impact them futuristically. So that's why it's so heavily incentive based by way of participant gift rewards, summer work stipends, which brings up another point that our program extends into the summer. Many after-school programs end when the school year ends, but we are providing a continuation of services into the summer so that kids can apply what they've learned during the after-school program into the real world, which is kind of the summer program. Now we know that those stipends, balloons again, are our budget, but we know that they are a necessary means in which to engage the kids on a level in which they see that they can make better decisions instead of involving themselves in a criminal lifestyle. The second thing about the budget that I want to discuss is the $2,000 per participant ratio. I'm not quite sure where that number comes from, and if someone can tell me, I would really like to know. I've done after-school programming for high school age kids for a number of years, and I never remember a number that low really being the benchmark for an effective program. In fact, it's usually at 4,000 or 5,000 simply because I think most of the grant people that I've been engaged with understand that there's a higher level of services needed for kids that age. So I would really like to know where that came into play, because this is not middle school where they don't need things like incentives or they won't have summer employment, but rather we're trying to provide some services where these kids need and that are relevant, that meet both an immediate need but also engages them long enough where we can give them long-term services to make better decisions for their future. Now let's look at the other thing relative to staff. There has been some discussion as to whether we need 3 full-time staff members. I assure you we need all 3 of our full-time staff members because we all play a very significant role. Jonathan Womack, who is our lead program assistant, he's basically responsible for intake. Jonathan, other than serving as a mentor and a supervisory person during the activities and stuff from the after-school program at 10 from 2 to 6. What he does prior to that is really go down to the DJJDP offices as well as make home visits and serving as a liaison with the schools to set up transportation. These are things that have to be in place in order for us to really serve the number of kids which are now on our rolls, which we are already at capacity, which I think shows how hard he has worked building the program up and getting the kids enrolled for the program. The other person, Teresa White, who is our finance manager and assistant program director, Teresa oversees all the fiscal components of our program. She does all the bookkeeping, payroll processing, timesheet processing, the whole 9 yards relative to any fiscal matter that involves our program. She keeps up with the budget line item by line item to make sure that we're keeping within our spending parameters. And she also is our compliance officer. She's the one that sets up the files to make sure that each file is completed, that the documents are enclosed in an orderly fashion so that we have all the medical releases and various liability forms and rules being signed, the whole 9 yards. So that's really a full-time job in and of itself, just doing the compliance part. So we really need those two full-time people in conjunction to myself. Now me as a program manager, of course, I'm responsible for the program design and all program operations. If there's ever any questions or concerns, I field all of those questions and concerns and address them. I'm also the primary life skills facilitator. That means I have to make sure that there's adequate meeting space, that all of the technology and equipment is in the room so that we can facilitate the meetings in conjunction to the computer labs as well as the rec rooms, working with the Midwood staff to ensure that we have everything in place so that everything runs smoothly during the day. I also have to create all the documents and all of the forms necessary that in order to reach compliance for the JCPC program as well as CMS. So I'm responsible for a whole gamut. But let me just say here that all of our job descriptions are included as attachments to this email, so you can look them over to see what we do over the course of any given day. Okay, now the other thing about the part-time staff people, the numbers that we utilize for the part-time staff, $20 an hour for 20 hours a week, is basically the market rate for what after-school programming is for CMS sponsored programs. So I basically looked at the market to establish what we would spend for our part-time staff. So that's basically where those numbers came from, and we need each and every one of them. Again, I just want to say our program is not the typical after-school program where we're just basically doing glorified babysitting. We are really trying to equip our participants with the skills necessary to compete in the 21st century marketplace, but also to give them exposure to what it takes to succeed so that they can make better decisions instead of going the route of a criminal lifestyle, which many of them feel that's the only alternative that they have. But we're hoping that we are changing some minds, and if you look at the videos that I sent you earlier, those are what the participants were articulating to you. So lastly, in conclusion and in closing, we just want to invite every council member to come out and check out the program. Not from a critical standpoint, and neither are we saying that we are the panacea, that we're perfect. But I think you will see clearly that we run a very structured program and that we're giving them our participants things to succeed, and it's not just a generic program that has been seen in the past. And so we want to invite every council member, but especially before you make a decision or determination to judge us based on what's been done in the past, to come out and really see what we do. We will welcome you. We welcome your input and your insight, but also in ways that you can see that you can help us to become better so that we can best serve the kids in which you guys have entrusted us. So again, thank you for watching this video note, and hope to see you soon. Thanks.